Well, good morning, gentlemen. Charlie here. I was taking my dog to the park today. I'm just here swinging on one of the swings and taking old Brisker down here and let him play. And I got to thinking about something this morning. I had a lot to do, a lot of chores to do, a lot of errands to run, and I got them all done this morning. But it got me thinking how important working is, and kind of let that stir in my mind a little bit. And I wanted to unload all these thoughts on you guys and see what your thoughts are. But there's a verse in the Bible that's mentioned all the time that says, if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. And what I get from that, I get two different things. The first one, which is probably what most people get out of it, is a man that's lazy, that's not working, he doesn't deserve any food. And that's what I've always gotten from it. But then I got to thinking, and it makes a little bit more sense to think about a farmer in the instance. If a farmer doesn't work, his crops aren't going to grow. He's not going to reap from the harvest. The less work he does, the less crops he gets. The less fruit he inherently receives. I started thinking about that. Started really mulling that one over, and that's a really good rule to live by, especially as men. Hard work is good. Whatever you're working at, make sure you're working. Nothing's free. It really isn't. We want things to be handed to us. We buy our lottery tickets hoping that we're going to hit the lottery and receive, $900 million or whatever it's up to nowadays. And, we're always entering free sweepstakes, or we try and figure out these new scheme jobs where, you only have to work one day a week and receive $5,000 or whatever. There's all these different get-rich-quick schemes. And it's in our nature that we don't want to work. It's a sinful nature in us, and we need to nip it in the butt. But I wanted to kind of talk about how important it is for men to work. There's been times in my life where I've lost a job and been in between jobs, and it's important to stay busy. Staying busy does a lot of things for you. Number one, staying busy doing things. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a hard laborish job. It could be staying busy doing anything, like running errands, like I was today. I'm not working today, but I am doing a job. I'm running errands. I am working in a sense, and it keeps you busy, keeps your mind focused on something, gives you something to do, kind of keeps you out of trouble in a sense. You have less time to do things that you necessarily don't want to do or should not do. Number two, honestly, it keeps me happier. I've noticed the days when I don't have anything to do and I stay at home and stay in bed and don't do anything, sometimes those days I can feel real low. I can feel real depressed, and so I give myself things to do. Now, there are times when you need rest, don't get me wrong on that, but you need to have tasks to accomplish. You need to be working, and the more you work, the more success you see from it, as long as you're working for the right reasons. And I think it's really important to think about that, and it's just a little thought for the day on kind of what it means for a man to work. I think every man should have some sort of blue-collar resemblance in his life. I don't think every man should be a blue-collar worker. That's the kind of work that I enjoy, but I know that that's not every man. But I guess what I'm saying is that you should have areas in your life where those sort of attributes kind of shine. And It's extremely important, in my opinion. And you know, the more we work, the harder we work, the more we work at something in particular, the more we receive out of it, the more joy we receive out of it, the more accomplishment we receive, and it just makes life so much easier. So I encourage you guys, if you're sitting at home and you kind of don't have anything going on, and if you feel like what you're doing is pointless, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, or you're not getting anything accomplished, find something to do. It could be a hobby, and I always tell people to find something to do with your hands. You know, your mind gets a lot of work nowadays, especially with social media and the advancements of schools over the past years. Your mind is just bogged down with things. So give your hands something to do. Get dirty. Find a hobby. For instance, I'm on a disc golf field right now. Frisbee golf, disc golf, whatever you want to call it. I enjoy playing disc golf. I have my discs in my truck right now. And that's a very hands-on hobby. You know, it gets you out, gets you away from the screens, gets you away from using your mind so much, and you're more of just using your strength, technique, things like that. I also used to bowl. I was big into bowling. I like to work in the fields now. I like to build things. Right now my hobby is building a house, and that's a fun hobby. So I encourage you excuse me, I encourage you to find something like that to do. Find work to do, because